Hey everyone, welcome to another live stream. Actually, you can call this the final if you like to, because what comes after this is just, can I call it maybe advanced and cosmetics? Yeah, more advanced stuff. But right here we have everything deployed. But make sure I'm not speaking to myself alone. Let me confirm right here that my audio is doing fine. Okay, that's okay. Yeah, it looks good on my end. So what you're looking at right now is the documentation from the staging environment. Okay, isn't it nice? Look at the URL. Okay, look at the URL right here in the browser. It's HTTPS, meaning it is now a secure connection. Okay, we have API staging.airboundventures.com/docs. Yeah, so this is the end goal of today's stream. Actually, it has been done. I'm just going to explain to you how it has been done, like I've been doing in the previous live streams. So for those of you who have been learning and enjoying this, you're going to love this one too. So I need to talk about a few things, okay, that you need to do to achieve this. So I had notes for this live stream, but I'm not seeing them, but it's okay. Let's continue. So we're going to be using the AWS Certificate Manager, or ACM. So ACM for AWS Certificate Manager, and it will issue for us a certificate like you see here. The status says issue. Let me expand it. Okay, it says issued. Just a minute. Yeah, it says issued. So our goal is going to be to achieve this today, and we are going to go through it step by step. So you can see that the common name here is, let me expand this again, is API staging ventures.com. Okay, and this is Amazon issued. So we're going to have the TLS certificate, okay, being set up for us, and the key is RSA. So yeah, pretty cool, right? So first things first, you need to set up permissions, okay, to allow, okay, our Terraform or our infrastructure manifest to create this ACM for us, okay. And for that to happen, we need the role. If you remember the role that we created, was it about 3-4 weeks ago? Not 4 weeks ago, but 3 or 4 streams ago, we created a role and give it permissions, okay? The GitHub action deploy role, okay? This time we have to give it more permissions. So to do that, I need to go to the account, okay? Let me, actually, within AWS, you can just click on this, okay? And go to the IAM, okay? Open it in a new tab, like so. Then, okay, so I'll go to roles. Okay, let me expand this a little bit. Okay, and the role I want to target is this one here. Okay, Aero Backend. Let me expand it. Okay, hope you all remember this. It's the Aero Backend staging GitHub deploy. Okay, it's the one we want to edit. Okay, so that we give it more permissions. Actually, I already added it. Okay, that's why you see everything is working. Otherwise, nothing would be working. But I need to explain to you what to do. So when you come on this page, okay, and this is something that you can do one time. Okay, you don't have to do it again and again and again. Okay, so when you come here, you look at this page. Okay, it has a number of sections. Okay, but what I'm interested in is this part which says add permissions. So when you click on add permissions, okay, you can either choose attach policies or create inline policy, but I went with create an inline policy. Then I chose the JSON editor, okay, where I put a permission having a version and statements, okay. That's what you do, and then you simply come here and say next, okay, and then you go ahead and give it a name and save, okay. So what I want to show you is what I actually created, okay, and what it does. So if you come to, let me zoom out a little bit, okay. If you come to this, okay, I've expanded it. It shows you all the statements that we have had from the past, okay. And I think I shared this, okay. If I didn't share, please let me know, okay, in the comment section, so that I can maybe paste it in the chat for you to reuse, okay. So we have this, but also to show you what I actually added, the actual inline policy, I'll come, I want to, what am I looking for? Okay, come to trust relationships, okay, something I'm looking for. Not the IAM users. Of course, the IAM users, we have two, okay. This one is the, let me expand. This is the old one. Not the old, but the one I use for the compose deployment, okay, on EC2. Then this one here is the one we are using for the current activity. So let me see. I'm just going through this to make sure I don't leave out anything you need to know. Of course, I'm going to show you what I want to show you. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, all here is clean. So look at this, okay? So in this roles of error backend staging cluster, okay, you have to add, okay, something. Sorry, I think I mistook it, okay? But let's go for, again, through one by one, okay? Let me expand this. This one here is the one for deploying, okay? To create that ACM certificate, we need the error backend staging cluster, okay? Sorry, I mistook it, because the ACM is going to affect, can I call it, an infra level kind of task, okay? I was wondering why I was seeing something different, okay? But creating it is the same way, okay? You come to add permissions, then you create an inline policy. So we shall go back here and I'll show you what we have so far, okay? We have the AKS compute policy, the cluster policy, load balancing policy, networking policy, and also this other one here, okay? The block storage policy, okay? Which is good. This is what I wanted to show you, okay? And I think we did this in the past live streams. You can check to see the details, okay? Or you can expand here to see the actual JSON. So I'll minimize that, and I want to go to something else. IAM user groups, okay, the same. Just to make sure that everything is okay. Identity providers, we still have the same identity provider, okay? And you can see I created this 2 months ago, okay? So yeah, created once, no need to delete, okay? If you go to the identity provider, you have everything. So roles, they are 10, okay? And they are right here. So yeah, and in the previous live streams, you've seen how we've created them using Terraform. So trust relationships. Let me see. What else do I need to change? Okay, I think we're good to go here. If I go to policies, okay, and I zoom out a little bit, okay, you can see all the policies. Okay, they're quite many. This table is not numbered. Okay, yeah. Let me see, what else can I show you? What can I show you? What can I show you? What can I show you? I want to make sure that when I leave this page, there's nothing unclear, okay, that I added. I'm trying to think through carefully these roles, okay? Comparing those that were created by Terraform and those that were created by, the permissions created by Terraform and those that I created by myself. Yeah, but it's quite simple. For the networking policy, you can actually come here and look at it, okay? It has opened a new tab. Let's see. So you can see the service is EC2, access level is limited to write and tagging, okay? Yeah. And sometimes by the you can come to this page, okay? But when you've selected the wrong region, I've fallen into that many times, okay? So click here, okay? Here rather, okay? And choose your region, okay? So I won't choose US East 2, okay? Ohio. Or you can choose local zones, okay? But I haven't enabled any. For regions, okay? We can do that, okay? But for now, it is showing locked, okay? This is new, okay? So if you face this, you let me know. It could be because of something, okay? I'm not aware of, but it's cool. Usually when you'd come here, you'd click. I will investigate this later, okay? But according to what I see here, okay, these are resources created in the region I intended to have. So that is actually pretty okay. Otherwise, I would be in triple trouble. So yeah, these are the permission policies, okay, that we need for Aero backend staging cluster. I don't see anything else. Have you ever had an intuition that there's something you've missed out? Okay, just give me a moment. Live streams are cool because everybody gets to see you forget something live. Okay, so for this we give access to all. Okay, but for this GitHub action user, okay, this is not everything. Okay, this is all types. Okay, because there's one which is supposed to be listed here. Okay, yeah, but it's not. Okay, I don't know why. Do I need, let me do this. But even then I would have been told to log in. Okay, anyway, let's move. Let's move. So I want to show you how you can get to this point of having this certificate issued, to having HTTPS, okay, and everything being deployed via Kubernetes, okay, or EKS. And like you can see, I did a number of trials yesterday, okay, a number of things passed, okay, and one failed, okay, and actually did changes to the workflow files, and you'll see. Then right here, you'll find this the domain provider, okay, network solutions, and I also did a few adjustments right here in the advanced tools. So let's get into it, okay, let's get into it, and I show you everything step by step. So I think the best thing to do would go to the code, we go to the code, and I walk you through things very fast. Okay, they're not complicated. It is simply a repetition of so many concepts we have been doing over the past live streams. So I'm going to just emphasize. All right, I'll start from down here. I'll close this. I'll open the Terraform directory, close Helm, and show you. I think let me start from ACM. Okay, so ACM is simply a file that we're going to use to create Terraform. Okay, a Terraform resource. And the resource we want is the AWS ACM certificate you get. And staging API, like you know, is simply the internal name to refer to it. So when referring to it in Terraform, we shall say AWS ACM certificate dot staging API. Okay, as simple as that. So here, that's when you specify the domain name. Okay, domain name will come from var.staging API hostname, which is simply in the variables up here, right here, okay? Staging API hostname, okay? And I'm going to push this to GitHub, so don't worry. You can copy it and use it. Then we have the validation method, which is DNS, okay? Then we put the usual tags that we have had from the beginning, and then we have a life cycle. And this one simply means that when we want to destroy an existing AWS certificate, okay, we should create a new one first, okay, and that new one should be established to be working and okay. Then we destroy the old one. That's what the create before destroy equals to true means, as simple as that. Then this one is simply a comment to let me know that I added a change to this file, okay, because I pushed it. Without it, okay, you will see that the file will be clean, okay, in Git, okay, it will be untouched. So I just put that comment to track the files I've changed, okay, as simple as that. So I hope that makes sense to you. If anything is not clear, please ask a question, especially if it's the first time you're watching this, okay? But those of you who have been watching from the beginning, you are confident about this, and I'm very sure that you are well equipped, okay, with knowledge. By now, I expect that when I come to this file and you have been following from the beginning, okay, this should be easy, okay? You should know what line 1 is, what line 2 is, what line 3 is, 4, okay, 6, because this has been a repetition, okay, of what we have been studying since the beginning, okay? Yeah. So I'll be a little bit fast. In case I miss out on anything, ask me a question. So this is the scm.tf, okay, for the AWS certificate resource. As simple as that. And the goal is simply to help us get a certificate to help us with TLS. So I'll close this. Variables.ts, you know what it does, okay? Simply gives us inputs, okay? And it has default values because I want the CI to receive these default values. For example, you see the default value here is API staging.airboundventures.com, okay? As simple as that. So this will be the default value given to the CI so that we don't have to put an input, okay? Because in the CI, there's no human to answer to anything. It should just run automatically. So I'll close that. Then I'll show you the ALB ingress class, okay? So this one here, if you realize the extension, okay? Let me expand this. Look at the extension, okay? It is .yaml.tftpl, okay? So the last one is an extension for Terraform, okay? Meaning a file that we can have Terraform expressions, okay? Expression language, okay? And like if statements, okay? Like you see on line 10, okay? Then the YAML part is simply letting us know that the end goal is to have this, okay, as a Kubernetes resource, okay? A file you can use to create Kubernetes resources. So, but if you don't have that extension, okay, Terraform will not be able to render certain things that we need, okay? So we want first render certain things in this file using Terraform. Then later, after it has been rendered, we can generate the resources using Kubernetes. And I'm going to show you how. So if you look at this, okay, this is what we had in the previous videos. Okay, even this, we had it in the previous video. The only change is this part here, okay, line 10 to 13, okay, where I'm saying that if certificate ARN, okay, is an empty string, then we don't render this, okay. Otherwise, if it is given to us, then we render. We render it, and we specify the certificate ARN. It will be injected right here. And if you go to AWS, okay, all these resources have ARNs. You get. So let me open this. Are you seeing this? It has. But in our case, we want it to be automated. Okay. All right. So let me go back right here. So the only change I added is this and the template extensions. Okay. and I've explained that for you. So I'll zoom out just slightly, close that. So what do I have? Outputs. Yeah, simply we want to get certain values after our infrastructure has been created. Okay, that's the purpose of the outputs. For detailed explanation, again, you have to watch from the very beginning. So I'm just saving time for those who have been here. Okay, so main.tf, what changed here? What changed? Let me see. Let me minimize this. So what changed here? Number one, if you look down here, okay, I have a new locals, okay, and this locals has a name variable, okay, which simply points to the project name first of all, then the environment using a dash. Then the next block, which is this, okay, simply helps us to have two things, okay. Actually, it's one thing, but it's actually two things, okay. Sorry, two things. Because if you look at it carefully, okay, we are supplying the certificate ARN in one, and in another we are not. So remember, I talked about this file right here, okay, and it has this line from line 10 to line 13, okay, where a resource, can I say a resource config, okay, where a line, okay, is going to be rendered conditionally, depending on whether the certificate ARN is given to us or not. So if you go to main.tf, okay, here we supply the certificate ARN. I mean, we don't, okay, sorry, but then here we do supply it, okay. And if you go just a little bit up here, okay, you'll see that this is being rendered to us, okay, from a template file, okay. So template file will render, okay, and pass variables to this. Are you seeing this? Okay, this is pointing to a file, the file I just opened right here, the one that you're seeing my cursor pointing at, okay. Path.module alb ingress class.yaml.tf_tpl, okay. So we pass the empty string, but in this case down here we pass the actual ARN, okay, and this ARN is a Kubernetes resource to the same file, but this time we pass the actual ARN. Where is this ARN coming from? This AWS certificate staging API.ARN, okay. It is simply referring to this resource here, okay. AWS ACM certificate.staging API. So this is the resource it is pointing to, as simple as that, okay. I'll repeat, this certificate value here, okay, the ARN is coming from this line here, okay, this resource. So we shall be able to access it after Kubernetes creates it. Not Kubernetes, but Terraform, sorry. So Terraform will create this for us. And in the main.tf, we shall have access to the ARN, or the Amazon resource name. Okay. So for it, maybe something I missed out on telling you that this first block is for HTTP and this second block is for HTTPS. Of course, you know that it is an empty string because in HTTP we don't need a certificate, but in HTTPS you need a certificate. Okay, that's why we have to supply the ARN. Okay, then of course here we have the common tags. Okay, then this you can ignore. In fact, I'll remove it and push because it's just used to mark the file. Actually, for every file which I have explained, I should just remove this, okay, to make sure I'm done. I'll just scroll to the top to make sure there's nothing I've left out. Yeah, everything else is the same. Okay, by now I expect that you guys know what a locals block in Terraform does. Okay, yeah, if you don't know, please watch the previous videos in this playlist. So let me see. Okay, this is done. Even this one is done, so I'll remove this. Okay, so outputs the TF. I'll remove this comment. Okay, and don't forget to like this video if you're enjoying it. Okay, just looking at the comments in case. Okay, no question yet. Then variable.tf, I think we're also done. with this. Save, close it. So ALB ingress, okay, we're also done with this one, okay. Maybe one thing I forgot to tell you is that if you look at this line, okay, line 14, this is simply a separator, okay, we're separating two resources, okay. We have the ingress class params and the ingress class. I hope you remember what this is. Then after that, I can now go to the Helm directory, okay. So in Helm directory, we have the values.yaml, which is the default, okay. I've explained this a million times. I won't need to explain it again. And this time, okay, let me see, is there anything that comes to mind that I've changed? Let me check slowly. Okay, we added the host, okay. There's a host. You see this? And you'll see how it's going to come in very, very important, okay. I just added the host to the values.yaml. Again, if you don't know what the values.yaml is, I will not spend this, okay, stream explaining the nitty-gritties, because I've explained some concepts over 10 times in the past 5 live streams, okay. So to save time for those who have been following, I'll just skip over, and if this is new to you and you're watching it after the live stream or during the live stream, please go back to the past videos in the playlist and check out. All right, so I added the host. That is all. I don't see anything new. If you see anything new, tell me in the chat and I'll explain it. So that is good. Values staging, or obviously only the host changed. And look at the host, okay? It is API staging.airboundventures.com. You get. And this time, look at the path. It says / path type prefix. It is not exact, okay? Look at values.yaml, okay? Here, by default, is exact. Okay, because we're just testing and we wanted it to be exact for only those endpoints, okay, to make sure that things are just passing and they're okay. But for staging, because we want to be able to, for example, like to see these docs, okay, I see these docs, you need to see these docs, okay. Otherwise, if you say exact and put on live, you won't. But if I do, for example, like the hello endpoint here, I say try it out, okay, execute. Things taking time, okay, but it did execute successfully, okay. If you want to check, Control F, do I have it here? Okay, it's not documented, it's okay, okay. But if I go to / live in the browser, you'd see it's right here, okay. We can access it. So the point is that we are able to see anything we want, okay, everything we want by doing that. So I'll go back here. So you see, path type / meaning from the root we have access to every endpoint that we want, okay. And the path type is prefix, okay? Not exact like we had. So I'll remove this. Okay, close that, then open templates. So templates API ingress, okay, I also had a change, okay. It's not so big, very small change at the host part, okay. So the host says required, okay, host dot ingress dot host, okay, is required. Otherwise, you'll have this error saying ingress dot host is required when ingress is enabled. And of course, it comes from values dot ingress dot host, okay, and we pass it through the quotes, meaning it will be wrapped into quotes. So values dot ingress dot host is simply referring to this host, okay. I see. Actually, in ingress, you know that there are two ways you can do your routing, okay. You can route by host name or by path, okay. So in this case, I'm doing host name routing, as simple as that. So this is also done. I'll remove this, okay. I'll remove that, and okay, looks like I added an extra. Save, or I removed an extra. Okay, this is done, okay. So for the Helm template, is clean. So those are the only changes, okay. So then we go to the workflow. So the workflow had some breaking changes. Do you remember that in the past live streams, when I would push, okay, we had two workflows running simultaneously, okay, infrastructure creation running and deployment running, okay, but that's not good, okay. So I change this to enable to have this kind of flow, whereby we have infrastructure being created, then deployment. So the deployment depends on the infrastructure creation. And that's what I'm going to show you in a minute. I'm just looking at my phone to see the messages. Okay, just a minute, because the screen has hung. All right, so I think we're good. I'm going to use, yeah, let me just put the phone here. This other screen is, I don't have to take time fixing it now. So I'll use my phone to see what's, okay. Chat is now open. Let's continue. Now workflow, we changed. I'll start from right here, okay? In this one, everything else is similar. The concepts are the same. I'll only touch again the changes. The name is called staging backend pipeline. We have a workflow dispatch, okay? And you know what that helps us, okay, to manually trigger it. Then we have on push, okay, the branches that should be, I mean, when we push, okay, we should only trigger, okay, a workflow when it is on the main branch, okay, and the path, okay, are only these directories, okay. And of course, you have the permissions, the concurrency, the job. So yeah, everything else, like you can see here. Actually, sorry for over scrolling. I missed out. Okay, so are you seeing here? I combined all, okay, into one place. Have this in mind, because the other directories, okay, not the other directories, but the other workflow files like here don't have those paths anymore. Okay, even in this one, those paths are not there. Okay, so I put everything here. Okay, that if the backend directory changes, anything there changes, anything the Helm template changes, or this one changes, okay, or this file changes, or this file changes, or this file changes, okay, and they are on the main branch, okay, then we trigger this workflow. The permissions are the same, okay, permissions are the same. Concurrency, nothing changed, it's the same, okay, maybe that only that the group this time is named, okay, after this name here, staging backend pipeline, okay, but the same like previously. We have the GitHub ref added at the end. So permissions the same, concurrence the same. What changes now is in the jobs, okay, the jobs. So look at the jobs. In jobs, we have two, okay. Let me minimize this. We have the infrastructure job, and then we have the deployment job, okay. So we shall have infrastructure running fast, okay. Name is called provision infrastructure. Then we check the repository, that if the repository is this, okay, this actually will help me prevent having a workflow being triggered on the public branch, okay, on the public mirror. So if you want the public mirror to have your workflow running, simply make your changes, okay, fork or clone, whatever, and make your changes. So look at this. It says it uses this file, okay. This file is simply right here, okay, this one where my cursor is pointing, okay, and I'm going to go to it in a moment, okay, with an operation called apply, okay, and it inherits all secrets from it, okay. So all environment variables are inherited from it, okay. Then after infrastructure, we have deployment, okay. So deployment simply called deploy backend, and it needs infrastructure, okay. So this deployment job needs the infrastructure job. So this is what I changed, okay. No other big deal. Then it uses this YAML file, which is this other one here, okay, which has logic that we have previously implemented. Then at the end, it also inherits secrets from it. So I'm going to explain these two, okay. Actually, I'm just going to show you because they are pretty much the same, okay. So we have this one and this one. So let's go with the one for infrastructure first. So when we go to infrastructure here, you can see that it says workflow call, meaning it allows itself, okay, how can I explain this? It helps us to call it or use it in another workflow file, okay? Just like you see here. Sorry. Let me do this, okay? So on line, you see line 28, when we say uses, okay, uses this, which is this file here, okay? For users, okay, to work, we do the workflow call, okay? As simple as that, okay? Then you say inputs operation, and for the operation, like we've always been doing, you give it a description, okay? It is required, okay? And the type is string, as simple as that, okay? Then the workflow dispatch, we know that it is the manual operation, okay? And in this manual operation, I've introduced something new that you're going to see, okay? We have the description, required true, default, apply, then type choice. But what I changed is, not changed, but added is this, okay? The activate HTTPS. Why do we have this? Okay, it's very important that you understand this. Why we have this is because I want a situation whereby I first push, okay, then the ACM is created. When the ACM is created and is successful, I'll have a pending status, okay? It will give us a status of pending, and I'm going to show you where it's going to be output on the GitHub UI and right here in Terraform, how it's created. We shall have a pending situation, okay? And when you have that pending status, it will give us the DNS records first. Then those DNS records, we copy them and paste them in the domain provider. You get? This is how we do the custom domain. And I'm going to show you. After we have pasted in the domain provider, okay, and the domain provider starts propagating the DNS, we come back to our workflow and click activate HTTPS, or use the GH or GitHub CLI tool in your terminal to run activate HTTPS. And this is done only once. You get? Unless in your company you're going to be destroying infrastructure every day, you'd have to repeat the manual every time, okay? But this happens only once, okay? So for pull requests, the branch is the same, the path are the same, the permissions are the same, concurrency the same, the temporary env is the same, the job is still Terraform, okay? You see it is one job, okay? The steps are quite the same. I'm also looking for the change. Let me look for it. Not the change, but the actual addition. So destroy infra. Okay. This is where now the cool stuff is. Okay. Are you seeing this? Verify certificate insurance. Okay. We check if the input to the operation is equal to activate HTTPS. What I just explained a minute ago. We get the certificate status, okay, by saying Terraform, okay, Terraform output raw staging API certificate status. Okay, we output it from Terraform. And this line is simply saying we are specifying the directory where the Terraform manifests are located. So we do an if statement so that if the certificate status is not equal to issued, then we simply print a message saying that ACM certificate status is maybe like failed, okay? Then we say add the validation CNAME with your DNS provider before activating HTTPS. So this is to prevent you from activating HTTPS before the certificate is issued. How do you know that the certificate is issued? Let me show you. Okay, if I go back to AWS, are you seeing this status here of this certificate? It says issued. Okay, if I go back, okay, and you don't have to do anything to issue it. All you have to do is to do a git push, okay, and wait for AWS to know that it has been issued. So you push, Terraform will create for you the certificate. Then you'll pick the CNAME, okay, paste it on your domain provider, okay, and wait. Be patient for propagation to happen. When propagation is successful, then this will change to issued. When it is now issued, you can now go to here, okay. Let me show you. Are you seeing this? Okay, of course, this is for the staging, but we need to go to this other one here. Provision EKS. Okay, if I click here, I see we have activate HTTPS. You get, so you can use this one here and you'll activate HTTPS successfully. All right, so let me get back to explaining. So this is done. This is what we did. Yeah, I think we did this in the previous video, but there's just a few changes. If you go down, and let me see what has changed. Okay, even here, I'm just checking for the activate HTTPS operation. Okay, so that we configure him. Every time when we have, the point is this, when we activate HTTPS, okay, we need our ingress to be up to date. Okay, yeah, so we simply go through the obvious, what we've been doing before. Okay, create a namespace. Okay, get the ingress class manifest. Okay, we get the current certificate ARN. Okay, and by default HTTPS is not enabled, so that ARN, okay, is given to us by simply using kubectl. Okay, so kubectl get ingress class params. Okay, then we output and pick the certificate. Okay, yeah, so we get the certificate, the current certificate. Okay, and then if we are activating HTTPS and the certificate actually exists, then we enable HTTPS, okay, and specify the actual manifest output, as simple as that. Then at the end, okay, we run this command, okay, on Terraform, okay, we get the output, which is the manifest output, okay, and send that result to kubectl, apply, okay, as simple as that. Then we get this result of HTTPS enabled, okay, and give it and redirect it rather to the GitHub output, and you're going to see it in GitHub. Actually, let me show you right now. Instead of saying you're going to see it, I should show you immediately. Okay, click on this. Okay, so are you seeing this? This is what I'm referring to, okay, as the output, and I'm going to explain to you this output in a minute. Okay, I'll get back to this, but you can see that we have provisioning the infrastructure running fast, then test, build, and deploy, and it's passing. So okay, in case there's anything, please don't hesitate to ask. Publish staging infrastructure configuration. Okay, even here, okay, I just added this at the end because we need to do the same thing in case we activate HTTPS. Okay, yeah, so yeah, basically the same thing. Okay, basically the same thing. And when you look at the config map here, okay, I'm simply getting can I say creating, okay, a configuration called staging HTTPS enabled, okay, to be equals to either true or false. Okay, so if we have activated successfully, the value will be true. Okay, so I'm adding it on top of the Redis URL. Everything up here is the same. Okay, here we're just ensuring that we pick the correct Redis endpoint. Then here we are creating a namespace. Okay, then we do those changes to the correct namespace. Okay, but we're simply adding two values to the config map. We are adding the Redis URL and the staging HTTPS being enabled or not. Okay, what else? Verify staging HTTPS endpoint. Okay, yeah. So it's just verification that we did last time, but instead this time we're using the new updated staging API host name. Yeah, so everything here is the same. I want to bore you with that. So publish ACM DNS validation record. Okay, so this is the first time. Okay, when you're doing a push. Okay, when you're doing a push operation, we go through this. Okay, we pick the certificate status. Okay, the record name, the record type, the record value. Okay, and we echo them to our GitHub step summary. Okay, it's what you're seeing here. If I go back here, are you seeing this? We have the ACM DNS validation is referring to this string here. Okay, certificate status, add this record with your DNS provider is just here. You see this? Where is it? You see this? Add this record with your DNS provider before activating HTTPS. Even here, add this record with your DNS provider, and I'm going to show you, okay, how I did that. So we're just publishing the records. Then this we did, this we did, this we covered. Okay, wait, let me check. Yeah, this is clean. This is all covered. So publish SCM is right here. Okay. Yeah, this is all. Just wanted to make sure I've not skipped anything in between. Then just do one more sweep, go up here. Yeah, everything is quite the same. Yeah, everything is quite the same. Let me just go through them one by one. Initialize, check Terraform, validate, plan, create staging, apply infrastructure, setup kubectl, setup Helm, configure, staging. Yeah, everything is okay. So I can remove this comment from here. Okay. So when this outputs, okay, the infra details, not the infra details, but the what is it called? The DNS records, okay? So we copy them. So are you seeing this which says SCM DNS validation? Okay. The status was pending validation. Okay. Why? Because I hadn't updated the DNS records. So now you go to your DNS provider, okay, like mine. I will go to advanced tools, okay, right here. Then I click on manage, okay. So different DNS providers have similar settings, okay. I click on this and say continue, okay. Then you click on add record, okay. So for this first one, this will be, you choose CNAME, okay, and refers to other host, okay. The host name, sorry, where is that? It's right here. Why am I getting confused? It's right here, okay. You pick this part, okay, this first part, okay, without the urbanventures.com. It will be added for you, okay. You copy it and paste here. You get, come here, copy also this one here, okay, copy it and paste right here, okay. You get, so you see it is telling me the record you have entered already exists. Then you come here and choose your TTL, okay, your time to live. If you don't know what TTL is, you don't know what DNS is, I have a playlist on system design, okay, on this channel. You can check it out, okay. It covers this in detail. So I'll cancel this. So this is for the SCM, okay. So like if you look down here, okay, I have it, come on, I can't scroll. Okay, I'm scrolling. Are you seeing it down here? I have it, you get, already configured. Now we go to the next one. The next one is now for the actual api.staging.airborne-ventures, okay. So the excuse me. So for infrastructure, for the SCM validation, use these two values, okay. The first one here that I showed you, I've copied and I pasted, and this other one, okay. Don't put your last bit of the domain, okay. Don't put this because it will add it for you, okay. You get, don't put the last bit. The domain provider will add this last bit for you, okay. Add what I've showed you. So for the other one, you do the same thing, okay. Come here, click add record. Type of record is CNAME. Go back here, copy this record here, okay. API, the staging, okay. Don't add this other part, okay. The other domain, only the subdomain, okay. The domain will be added for you by the domain provider. Come here, say refers to other host, paste, okay. You can then choose this as the CNAME, this one here. You get, as simple as that. And like you say, it tells you the record you have entered already exists. Sorry, I'm having some kind of belching. Then you can come here and change your TTL. Simple as that. So I'll cancel this. What else do we have here? So yeah, that's it. Okay. And then after that, you be patient. Okay. You click on save. Okay. After you've added your record, you save. You click on there's this add button, but for now it is grayed out. You click on save and be patient for DNS to be propagated. If you want to check, you can either use the dig tool in your terminal or DNS propagation checker. Okay. You can use this one here. Okay. You put here your DNS, for example, okay, copy this and paste, maybe expand this. Okay, you see mine is having ticks. Okay, okay, some are failing. I don't know why you're failing, but it can be found on the internet successfully. Okay, if I hit this, you'll see the hello message. Okay, yeah, but you get the point. So after you've set those DNS records, now you can go and click activate. Okay, come here, click on this. Where is this? No, sorry, you need to click on this. Yeah, so you click on this, the current one that ran. That's how you end up getting lost in your own project. Okay, yeah, so this is what I wanted. Okay, the workflow dispatch trigger. You come here, let me expand this, then you choose activate HTTPS, then you run the workflow. You get as simple as that. What else comes to mind? So I'm done with this. So I've explained this one here. I now need to explain this other one. I'll come here, click deploy. Okay, here we have workflow call again to enable us have this line, okay, to use it right here, okay, to call it or use it in a different workflow file. In workflow dispatch, of course, permissions are the same, concurrency same, env the same. For deploy services, it's the same. The steps, I don't think there's anything that changed here. Setup UV, install dependencies, backend tests, configure. Okay, this is okay. Login, resolve. Actually, if you don't have this step-by-step method, then you'll find like logging into ECR fails, okay? Because the infra would have been destroyed and probably not created yet. Build, push, setup, configure, verify. Okay. All these are the same. Okay, let me see. Yeah, so what changed was only right up here. Okay, removing like the logic that we had up here concerning the path. So I can remove these two, save. Okay, that's good. Even here, remove this two, save. Okay, so yeah, workflow is clean. Actually, you can end up here. Okay, and call it a day. So next step, I'm just going to deal with things concerning Argo CD, okay, and monitoring. Okay, right now in the current state of the application, you can use it. Okay, but if you want to learn about GitOps, you can use the next coming videos to learn about Argo CD. So let me see. What else? I think this is done. I can delete this. I can delete. Can log out, sign out of this guy. Okay. What else do I need to do? So yeah, I think I'm going to leave this for now, but I probably should just destroy it. Okay. Yeah, because this is just a staging environment and I don't need to spend the certificate. I will leave this here. Okay, close it. Then back to this, okay? I kind of still feel there's something I forgot to show you. I feel like I came here and I created an inline policy. Okay. So my question is, why am I not seeing the one I created? Something's in my created one. Okay. Let me see. And another thing that is puzzling me, why am I seeing when this option here is saying all types, okay? So it should show me the ones that are AWS managed and the ones created by the customer. But it's not showing that. Okay. So even here when I come here, I'm only seeing AWS managed. They're kind of I don't want to say fishy, but it's kind of like let me see temporary. Am I missing something? So if I go down here, let me see trusted support resource, elastic catch, EKS, GitHub action role. Wait, AWS backend GitHub action. I need to name the things better. Oh my god. Guys. Okay, I see some people have dropped off, but if you're watching this now or after, this is what I was looking for. Okay. That's why naming things is important. Okay. The number of roles we created. Okay. This one, I think, is the one that. Are you seeing this? I was looking for something like this. Okay. But this is not for this role. What I actually want is the GitHub action role. Is the role that we are using for the staging. It's the role that is assumed, okay, for the staging environment. Wow, really sorry about that. So what I was actually looking for is this, okay? The Aero Backend Staging ACM. Wow, 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 wow. Took me an hour to discover it, right? So, because I was going to wonder what's happening. I had a policy created, okay? And it had to show customer inline. So the other one was not showing customer inline. These others are AWS managed. In the previous encounter, we had this first of all. Okay, let me show you this one. Okay, I want to show you the permissions. So, okay, you can look at them and have them for yourself. Okay, so we have this. Okay, for manage staging IAM roles. Okay, we have. I need to find out minimizing this. Okay, we have the create required services linked roles, managing SCR. Okay, managing AKS, read AKS, managing staging. Okay, we have read elastic catch. I'm not sure if I showed you in the previous stream, but if not, you have to have them. Managing staging security group, read VPC networking. Okay, yeah. Then the one for the SCM is this. Okay, very simple. This one here. How I created it again, simply came to add permissions, create inline policy, and I went to the JSON editor. Okay, then you click next, give it a name. Okay, and save. So let's go back here. Aero backend staging SCM. Okay. Let it load. Okay, right here. Okay, very simple. I see in the first SID request staging certificate. You need it. Then we have manage staging certificate 2. Okay, yeah. So request and manage. As simple as that. You need them, otherwise your SCM will cry. Okay, so you need them once and for all. Wow, took me long. Okay, took me long. So I need to document this. I need to document this. I need to document this. At least this one here is obvious. It is for creating the cluster and managing the cluster. Okay, this one is for the nodes, but these two are for GitHub actions. Okay, this one is for our staging, and this one is for the old one that we used to use for compose. Anyway, yeah, took me an hour. I kept on, my mind was, my submission was telling me I did something, I did something, I did something, but I was quite not getting it. So, like I said, after this, we're going to start AI engineering or AI, building an AI agent, okay, for this project. But before that, we need to first study AI agents and apply to this project. And that will happen on live classes, whereby you can turn on your camera, you can turn on your voice, and we chat. For that to happen, we need a Discord. Okay, so you can join the Discord if you're interested. If I find that people are interested in it, then I can hold those classes. Otherwise, I'll just record videos and push them to YouTube. So look out for that announcement very, very soon. Okay. Yeah, I think maybe the next videos, I don't know whether they should be live streams or not. Maybe I'll just record and wrap this up. Yeah, but it's been a good ride. Personally, I've practiced many things, I've mastered so many concepts, I've revised, and it's been a cool ride. So, yep, that's it. Thank you for watching.